Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Continuing our series, Alphabetical Favorite Films. We're up to the letter C tonight. Here with Doc, Brian, and Randy. We've done A and B. If you haven't checked those out, please do so. We'd love to have some more views and some feedback to what we've already done. And hopefully this series will grow as we continue on. Letter C, another toughie, as we've been talking about off camera. And if you haven't checked out the first shows, we have a point system where we do ranking. We each rank 20, but 16 through 20 gets 1 point, 11 through 15 gets 3 points, 6 through 10 is worth 5 points, 2 through 5 is worth 7 points, and the number one choice is a big 10 points. So they'll all be tallied up, as you'll see, after each round. It makes for fun. We don't know each other's lists going in. So there's a little bit of drama here if you like that kind of thing. So tonight's order is going to be Randy, Brian, Doc, and myself. Letter C. Randy started off 16 or 20 down to 16.
All right. My number 20 is 1954, Creature from the Black Lagoon, directed by Chad Arnold. The last great Universal horror film with a great monster and the lovely Julia Adams. The scene where the monster's swimming underneath her is just some great camera work. My number 19 from 2003, directed by Anthony Minghella. I don't know how you pronounce his name. Is that right? I don't know. Yeah. Cold Mountain. Not usually my type of film. Anything with I see tragedy in there. I don't know about that. But this has an epic quality to it with some great performances by Renee Zellweger, Nicole Kidman, Jude Law, and just the whole cast, I think.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think Renee Zellweger won an Academy Award for her role.
Yeah, she did.
She did. Okay. Yeah. As Ruby Twos.
18, I've got Coma from 1978, directed by Michael Crichton, also written by him. Effective thriller. While Jaws may have given you second thoughts about going into the water, Coma does that for the operating room, I think.
Yep.
Number 17, I've got A Christmas Carol from 1951, directed by Brian Desmond Hurst. I think this is the best telling of the Dickens classic, with Alistair Sim being the best Ebenezer Scrooge, in my opinion. Number 16, I've got Catch Me If You Can from 2002, directed by Steven Spielberg. Wonderful performance by Leonardo DiCaprio as the ultimate impersonator. He impersonates a doctor, a pilot, a lawyer, with the FBI hot on his trail.
Very good.
Very good. Well, Rich, I called it, right? I did.
You called it. Brian and I were discussing possibilities that people wouldn't see coming, and Brian spit out right away Creature from the Black Lagoon. So I said, I don't know, and he was right.
Right on.
It's a great call. All right. Number 2 on our list, Doc is up with his 20 down to 16.
Oh, I thought it was me.
Oh, it's Brian.
Oh, it is Brian. Excuse me, Brian. I'm sorry about that.
No problem.
I'm in a time warp somewhere. Go ahead.
Number 20 for me from Kevin Smith, 1994. I've got Clerks, the black and white docu-style shooting of Dante Hicks forced to work in the convenience store on his day off, and the all sorts of antics that happened during the course of the day. Kind of, I think the film only cost like $35,000 to make. Kevin Smith borrowed a bunch of money on his credit cards and ends up making, millions of dollars off this film and basically being given a blank check going forward. Number 19, Randy, we had an exact match here from Anthony Minghella. I've got Cold Mountain as well. Standout performances from Jude Law and Renee Zellweger as Ruby Twos. Even Donald Sutherland was really great in this film. It was a very small part as the father. Just a great epic film that I thought the pace of the film was shot well, and the cinematography was just absolutely positively stunning. Number 18, a little bit of surprise here, guys. I've now watched the movie several more times in my older age. So I'm giving some love to Close Encounters of the Third Kind from Steven Spielberg in 1977. Still not totally sold on Dreyfus in this or the mashed potato thing, but that's, everything else in there kind of appeals to me a little bit more, especially the soundtrack. I thought the soundtrack was very strong. Number 17, I've got Cube, kind of this independent sci-fi horror from Vincenzo Natali from 1997. Group of strangers awaken inside this massive labyrinth, cube-shaped rooms with just filled with deadly traps, and with no memory how they got there. So they have to combine all their unique skills to try to get out of this basically test of horror of sorts. So it's kind of interesting. And then at number 16, I've got Constantine, Francis Lawrence, 2005, starring Keanu Reeves as a supernatural detective who walks that line between heaven and hell using his knowledge of demons and angels to protect humanity. He teams up with Rachel Weisz in this as Detective Angela Dotson, seeking help investigating her sister's mysterious death. So way far departure from the comic book Hellblazer that it's based on, but still an entertaining film. I wanted to conclude it. So
good one. What year was Constantine again?
1997.
Thank you. That was obviously one I did not have programmed, so very good. All right. Now it's Doc. Let's see what he's got up his sleeve tonight.
Let's see what we got. Yeah, it'll be a Doc list. I don't care. I'm going to put my zany stuff and everything else that goes with it. But that's me. So I'll make sure I got mine in there. So mine is going to start off with 1989's The Couch Trip, because I want my couch trip in there. I left one up, and I'm putting the zany comedy in here at the start. Walter Matthau, Dan Aykroyd, Charles Grodin. It's just a sequence of events where Dan Aykroyd takes over as a radio psychologist down in LA and takes Grodin's place on the radio. I think it's a pretty witty script, man. If you haven't seen it, I think it's pretty freaking funny. That's my take. I have a soft spot for it. Have a soft spot for this one too, and it only comes up once a year, but I'll watch it once a year, and I don't care. It's Christmas Vacation at 1989. Will make my list. Had to squeeze some stuff in here, and I want to make sure I got a little bit of everything. So, to me, it's right there with the Vacation in the series. It's friggin' hilarious, and it's an easy watch every Christmas time. So, I'm gonna make my list.
Yep.
Number 18. This is bang on to the spot, Randy. 1978, Michael Crichton's Coma.
Wow.
I have a soft spot for this movie. I think we've talked about it maybe once or twice in the past as well. And you're right about your description of how you put it. If something gets sent down to the other place and they're doing something, who knows what's going on with organs and everything else from there. So who knows? But a lot of people going into a coma with no reasons. Really goes down to it's a good thriller, man. With that in mind, I'm sticking in that era. I'm sticking with that genre kind of thing. I got Capricorn 1 at night, number 17 for me. It just sticks with me, man. These are movies that I think it's a great thriller. It's Josh Brolin, James Brolin, Sam Waterston, O.J. Simpson, Elliot Gould. Not really a mission to Mars, and how it goes sidetracked from there. It's really, really well done. I think it's a great thriller, especially from that era, to be honest with you. My number 16, sticking in the sci-fi genre, I'm going to go with 1997's Contact with Jodie Foster and Matthew McConaughey. I think it's a Zemeckis movie. I think it's really well done, holds up. I still enjoy to watch it now, and it's alien contact, and I think it's really, really well done as far as the first Contact kind of movie goes, and in the sci-fi genre, man. It hits.
Very good. All right.
I like it.
There's, I think there's been 4 movies so far that I did not see coming. So we'll get to those because I don't have the directors, and I'm going to ask you along the way when we pull up the screen to fill in those blanks. But for me, number 20 is a recent film, a couple of years ago, A Complete Unknown, the Bob Dylan bio. I know I've worried time. It's not way up on the list because it needs some time for me to ruminate over it. But I love the performance by Timothée Chalamet. I love that era of early 60s folk. So it's a natural for me. I think it's extremely well done. But the girl that plays Joan Baez is fantastic as well, as is Ed Norton in a supporting role. Fantastic. Love it. Number 19, I have a match with Brian, actually. Clerks, the Kevin Smith comedy, low-budget comedy with really a group of unknowns in a convenience store and video store, and just a vulgar, profane comedy that I can't help laughing at. It's below the belt humor all the way, but I like my below the belt humor occasionally. Number 18, the comedy. I know it's going to be higher on most people's lists, but I can honestly say I don't return to it that often, and that is 1980s Caddyshack. Rodney, Chevy, Ed Knight. I mean, it's just goofball after goofball. And Bill Murray with the hose watering down the groundskeeper, the gopher. Just the soundtrack's hilarious. I had to put it on the list. It's not one I frequent that often, but it is hilarious. No question about it. Number 17 is Brian De Palma's 1976 teenage horror film, high school horror film, Carrie, starring the great Sissy Spacek, with a girl with telekinetic powers and her overbearing mother, played by Piper Laurie. You got some young people making their debut, or almost debuts, like John Travolta, William Catt, Amy Irving, Nancy Allen. They all got the cast very well. A solid movie from De Palma. And number 16, one of my great poker playing movies of all time, The Cincinnati Kid from 1965, directed by Norman Jewison, starring Steve McQueen. And you know me, I like my Steve McQueen, so he's going to appear on this list at some point. And that's the spot I'm picking tonight. So Cincinnati Kid. I love the twists and turns within a card game as well, and that has them. So let's bring up round one and see what's off to the flying start here. Here we go. We got Clerks, Cold Mountain, and Coma. Each got 2 1-point placements, so they're obviously leading the pack. And then the rest follow in alphabetical order. So the drama will build from here. Hopefully we'll get some
it will.
Next round. Got some 3-pointers coming up. Doc, think of your basketball mode. Bang, 3-point land. Here we go. It's Randy to start us, though. Randy will lead this off with his number 15 through 11.
All right. For 15, I've got from year 2000, Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, directed by Ang Lee.
Yeah.
It would be hard to find another martial arts film as beautiful, elegant, and touching, I think, as this one.
Yeah. Excellent.
My number 14 is Casino Royale from 2006, directed by Martin Campbell. Sort of a James Bond reinvention with Daniel Craig as I think the best 007 since Sean Connery. My 13 from 2005, The Constant Gardener, directed by Fernando Meirelles. I love my thrillers, and this one has Ralph Fiennes and Rachel Weisz embroiled in political intrigue and danger in Kenya. Kind of a unique setting for a thriller, I thought. Number 12, this one is probably the one no one's going to have. And I'm going back about 100 years for this one. 1928. I've got The Cameraman. It says directed by Edward Sedgwick, but Buster Keaton was kind of the main force in that. But it says Edward Sedgwick, so that's what I'm going with. Buster Keaton is probably my favorite silent comedian. I love his deadpan style, and in this one, he plays a lovesick newsreel cameraman. Number 11. Is that where I am? Yeah. I've got from 1963, Charade, directed by Stanley Donen. Great suspense thriller with a lot of Hitchcock touches, but not directed by Hitchcock. Stanley Donen doing his best Hitchcock impression, I think, with a lot of humor as well.
Okay.
Very good.
Very good. None of those have been mentioned before, so they're all taking the lead, tied with 3 points. Okay. Next up's Brian.
Okay, at number 15 for me, I've got from 1992 Neil Jordan's The Crying Game. IRA volunteer, played by Stephen Ray. Fergus develops an unexpected bond with this British soldier held captive by his organization. The soldier played by Forrest Whitaker, which he did an outstanding job in, to changing the course of his life forever. And he goes to fulfill a promise that he made to that soldier to visit his girlfriend, not realizing that his girlfriend was actually trans. Just very, very movie about self-identity and love and unexpected consequences of compassion. Number 14, I've got Collateral here. Maybe one of top 3 Tom Cruise performances of all time. From 2004, Michael Mann. Los Angeles cab driver Max's routine was played by Jamie Foxx. Takes a terrifying turn when he unknowingly picks up Vincent, a contract killer who forces him to chauffeur him around the city as he performs various illegal tasks, with the ultimate goal of pinning everything on Max at the end of the night. Number 13, I've got the adaptation of The Crow, starring Brandon Lee from 1994, directed by Alex Proya, who went on to do Dark City as well. I really like his style. 1 year after he and his fiancée were brutally murdered, Eric Draven, played by Brandon Lee, who tragically died during the making of this movie, returns from the grave and is guided by a mystical crow who gives him these supernatural abilities to take vengeance upon those who've wronged him. Number 12, I've got Crimson Tide from Tony Scott in 1995. It's got Gene Hackman and Denzel Washington, and it's got James Gandolfini and Viggo Mortensen as well. Just an all-star cast, really kind of addressing the international crisis that nuclear submarines were facing when a captain and executive officer disagree on a set of orders because they get cut off midstream. And that disagreement escalates into a mutiny aboard the submarine. And there's just a really intense moments in there, considering it's an enclosed environment, as you know, and people are already on edge. This just added to that. Number 11 for me, my old professor Mike Upchurch would be elated that I have Cool Hand Luke here from 1967. Stuart Rosenberg. Luke Jackson is sentenced to Southern prison camp after committing a minor act of vandalism. But he just refuses to surrender his independent spirit, and that grit and determination and repeated escape attempts obviously cause havoc amongst the other inmates as well, and has tragic consequences overall. So just a great film, timeless film. I wanted to definitely include it.
Awesome.
Very good.
And some good ones in there for sure. And it's interesting that both Randy and Brian in that round did 3-pointers that nobody has mentioned yet. So that we got a 10-way tie for the lead. Let's go to Doc.
We'll see how this unfolds now, won't we? I guess. Right. So.
Yes, we will.
My number 15. I just think that this movie is. I think it's a really great horror movie. It's right at my sweet spot. I got The Conjuring from 2013 by James Wan, with Patrick Wilson and Vera. What's her last name?
Farmiga.
There you go. Thank you. It's a creepy psychological and supernatural horror movie, and I think it's got the same kind of. It reminds me so much of like The Exorcist and Poltergeist and stuff like that when I watch it. And those are right in my sweet spot. So it was nice to see it brought back that kind of vibe, and it hits, man. That's right in my sweet spot. My number 14 from 1974. I had to put it in here somewhere. I didn't know where it was going to land, but I got The Conversation with Gene Hackman here. I know a lot of people are going to have it higher, maybe if they have it on their list, but it's on my list. It's fantastic. Harrison Ford, Gene Hackman in a movie is great. It's real, hired. He goes down a real wormhole here on where he goes with Cindy Williams and listening and everything else. And De Palma does a really great job in this one, man. And it's Gene Hackman, man. He's right there at the top of my list in a lot of senses. So much so that my number 13 is Crimson Tide from Tony Scott. So there's a hit there.
There you go.
You're right. It's a sub movie. I got Gene Hackman. I got Denzel Washington. So yeah, I'm all in, man. This is right in my sweet spot again. So yeah, the power struggles are one thing that happened, and how it unfolds and the division inside the sub. On top of that gets pretty tense at times, but Crimson Tide's a really good flick, man. Can't help it. Like my monster movies, I'm sticking with it. This is my list. This is what I'm watching. Cloverfield from 2008. Great monster movie in the city, man. It hits well with me. It's Godzilla of 2008. Matt Reeves directed it. Drew Goddard wrote it, man. It's not like it's some slop. So it's it's a good movie, man, if you like those kind of things. It's right there for me. That first person thing is one thing. If you can get past that, you're in.
Right.
Stick with that creepy kind of vibe, man. I got soft spots for these things. 1980s, The Changeling. George C. Scott. Supernatural. Horror. George C. Scott, man, that's all I should have to say, really. But it's a creepy horror movie, especially that era, and it sticks with me. I love the look of it, too. It's really gray and dark, and sometimes it's a pace movie, too, for a horror. That's my 15 through 11, man.
Very good.
Very good. Very good.
This list is shaping up, as they say.
I bet it is.
All right. I'm going to hit you with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 new entries here to the proceedings. Number 15 for me. I can't make it through a list without a Woody Allen movie, and this is going to be Crimes and Misdemeanors. That's my number 15 from 1989. Different, and it's more of a moral tale of murder and relationships and what's on your conscience, that type of thing. Woody Allen, Martin Landau, Angelica Houston, all in this, and others. But that's my number 15. Number 14, I suspect that people will have this much higher, but it couldn't crack my top 10. Number 14 for me is Casino, Martin Scorsese's part 2 or 3 in the trilogy of mob movies. One of his of mob movies from 1995. De Niro, Pesci, Sharon Stone gives one of her all-time great performances here. James Woods is the sleazy bastard that we talked about when we did our sleazeball episode. He shows up here as well. And I had to have it on my list, but a little bit middle range for me. Number 13, this is one that I think will only be on my list because I love Philip Seymour Hoffman so much. Capote from 2005. Truman Capote, a biography and story, but it's a particular time in his life when he's writing in cold blood, meeting with the killers. It turns out to be his final novel. Catherine Keener and Chris Cooper are great supporting actors in this as well. But it's always been a favorite of mine, number 13. Not the most upbeat movie, but it's a wonderful portrait of Truman Capote in the early 60s. Number 12. This is a Scorsese movie, The Color of Money, sequel to The Hustler, about 25 years down the road. Paul Newman and Tom Cruise both shine here. Eddie Felson takes on a protege and teaches him the ropes, and eventually they have a little showdown in Atlantic City. Mary Elizabeth Mastrantonio is Cruise's girlfriend. She's very good in here as well. Forrest Whitaker shows up, John Turturro as Hustlers on the Road. And number 11 for me is, I wanted to get this in my top 10, but I just couldn't squeeze it in. That's Children of Men. Alfonso Cuarón directed, 2006, dystopian classic right by now. Clive Owen, Julianne Moore, Michael Caine, in a world where there are no, I don't think a baby's been born in 18 years, and it turns out they're protecting a female who seems to be the only pregnant woman on the face of the earth. And it's, if you go with that premise, it's pretty good ride. So, right. All the scenery, the cinematography, it's very dark, but it works effectively. So that's going to make my list. It's extremely well made. So
Excellent.
that rounds out the bottom half of all of our lists. And let's just take a peek at where everything is right now. Crimson Tide has jumped out to a big lead with a couple of 3-point.
We got it, Brian.
Here.
Yeah.
Yeah, there it is. And that's all alphabetical. So this is going to change as we get down the road. Let me see if there's a. All right.
Mr. Keaton's in second.
I put him in there. I mean, I didn't catch the other guys. Edward Sedgwick or something you said?
Yeah. We can get it afterwards.
We'll get it later.
All right.
Anyway, it's sort of run and gun these movies I didn't have on the list. All right, let's go back to Randy for his 10 through 6.
Well, Rich had this at 11, so I won't go into it too much, but I've got Children of Men here from 2006. Just a unique sci-fi thriller. Number 9, we've discussed this movie before and how much I like it, but it's A Christmas Story from 1983, Bob Clark.
Right on.
I just see so much of this film as things that happened in my childhood, even though this film was set in the 40s. The nostalgia for Christmas past is strong here. It's like Yoda was there. But anyway, I love that film. Number 8 has already been mentioned as well. And I got Cool Hand Luke here from 1967. Just like I said, Paul Newman, great alienated prisoner that kind of the other prisoners champion him after his escape attempts and everything. Number 7, also mentioned, Close Encounters of the Third Kind, Steven Spielberg, as Brian had mentioned that film. And number 6 has been mentioned, so we're starting to get some matches here. I've got The Conversation here from 1974, Francis Ford Coppola.
Right on.
Just I love how Hackman's performance, where he's the surveillance expert and who now sees and perceives that the tables have been turned upon him. So that's
yeah, very cool.
Definitely. All right. Yeah, that was that moved the needle a little bit for some of these picks. All right, Brian, you're up. This I 5 pointers this round.
Number 10 for me, Casino did break into my top 10 from Martin Scorsese, 1995. Mob-connected gambling expert Ace Rothstein overseeing his gambling casino and hotel in Las Vegas and the antics that he runs into there. Outstanding performance by Joe Pesci for sure. Number 9, I've got Cabin in the Woods here. I think Doc may give me a little bit of a backup here. Directed by Drew Goddard from 2012. Kind of a campy play on the horror genres in general, and that it basically has the same premise as most teenage horror slasher films have, where they go out to a cabin in the middle of the woods and there's killers. But this one has a great, huge twist to it that Doc knows about and maybe others know about, but I don't want to ruin it for anybody. But it's just an absolute different take on the horror genre altogether, and I thought it was just extremely well done. Number 8, I've got Citizen Kane here as a film minor. I had to give this its props, considering I spent the whole semester studying this film from Orson Welles, 1941. It basically highlights the life and death of Charles Foster Kane, and the ultimate MacGuffin in any film wrote the word Rosebud, which sets in motion all these events to try to dive into his world and his life. Number 7, I've got Cinderella Man from Ron Howard from 2005. As a pugilist fan myself, I just love these types of stories. As former heavyweight contender James J. Braddock struggles to provide for his family. He's given an opportunity of a lifetime, but he has to go up against the infamous Max Baer, who supposedly, at least in this narrative anyway, was responsible for the death of 2 people in the ring. And it's just a really nice, kind of heartwarming boxing kind of movie that I really enjoy. And number 6 for me, I may be the only person to have it, and I'm okay with that. I've got Captain America, The Winter Soldier, directed by the Russo brothers from 2014. Captain America is trying to adjust to his civilian life, but he ultimately uncovers a plot headed by Robert Redford to infiltrate SHIELD, which is the government organization with the evil counterpart from Germany, Hydra. He fights alongside Black Widow and the Falcon, and is ultimately this great conspiracy type of movie. I always said that this movie was perfect for a superhero movie because you could eliminate the superhero aspect of it, and it still would stand the test of time. So I just think it's great.
Great choice.
Yeah.
Sure.
Awesome. All right. Let's go to Doc for his 10 through 6. These are 5 pointers, remember?
These are 5 pointers. So I'm putting this one here just because it's going to be on my list and it's another, but I have some rewatchables and stuff like that I got to go back to. So I got Casablanca from 1942 from Michael Kurtz here at number 10. Can I tell you, man, I like it more and more the older I get, is what it is to me, man. It's one of those kind of movies that just hits a little better every time. I don't watch it that often, but when I do, I just like it that much more. Bogart and Ingrid Bergman are great, and fugitives on the run, ex-lovers, and cafes and Nazis. It's got everything you want in a movie, man. It's great. I have a soft spot, so I'm keeping it, man. From James Bridges in 1979, I've got The China Syndrome with Jack Lemmon, Michael Douglas, and Jane Fonda.
Nice.
So all these movies, some of these movies, man, are just like waves rushing back to me because I saw them all at the drive-in and the theater and stuff like that, and I've loved them ever since. It was really the beginning of my love of movies when I saw these things when I was really young, to be honest with you. So,
yep,
it's a movie, and it's Jack Lemmon, and anything is definitely worth a watch, man. So that's my take. But my number 8, I've got Brian De Palma's Carrie here. Sissy Spacek and Travolta and stuff, and it's it's the telekinesis thing is one thing and stuff like that goes on, but how the story and how De Palma shows you, it's really shot very well for a horror movie, man. And it's there's some pretty tense scenes in this movie, man. Carrie's a great horror flick, man. My number 7, I think Randy, you might already had this one from 2006, Martin Hamill's Casino Royale with Daniel Craig. It's right there for me, man. I love this Bond flick. It's peak Bond in a lot of senses. I'm happy I get to pick some Bonds on my list here now because I can separate them up by letters, and we've done a different series in the past, so this is pretty cool for me. That Casino Royale is a fantastic Bond flick, man. Action-packed. You're right, Rich. It's I know it's on your list and you put it on. I'm very happy you did, and you'll laugh about it and everything else. But Caddyshack's a go-to for me, man. I can't help it.
Yeah,
that's my number 6. I love the movie. One of my favorite comedies of all time from 1980. Harold Ramis, and you talk about everything, Bill Murray and Ted Knight, Dangerfield, and everybody, man. The whole cast is great. So great comedy movie. All timer in my top 10 for sure, comedy, man. So Caddy's making my list.
Very good. I knew that would show up somewhere.
For sure, buddy.
Yep. All right. Number 10 for me, I've got Castaway, Tom Hanks classic from 2000, directed by Robert Zemeckis. It's pretty much a one-man show for the majority of the film, with Tom Hanks as a FedEx delivery guy, plane crash on the island, him and Wilson chilling for 5 years or whatever. He comes back. Wilson. Yeah, R.I.P. Wilson. He comes back when his wife Helen Hunt has moved on with her life. It's dramatic. It's entertaining. Action. The roller skate scene with the tooth is classic. I mean, there's so much in it. So Castaway is a repeatable watch for me, and that makes it at number 10. Number 9, I'm going on the solo route here for Carnal Knowledge from 1971, directed by Mike Nichols. Love Jack Nicholson at this time in his career, and Anne Margaret's along for the ride as well as his wife. It's a misogynistic tale for sure, but at that time, there's a lot of truth in it, relationship issues, hardcore, ins and outs of marriages and cheating, down and dirty stuff. But Carnal Knowledge has always been a film I really enjoy, particularly for Jack Nicholson's performance. Number 8, I had to put this. This is a must-have on the list, even though I rarely go back to watch it because it's Humphrey Bogart. It's Casablanca, 1942. Michael Curtiz directing, Ingrid Bergman, of course, and a cast of wonderful character actors on here as well. So that's going to make my number 8. Number 7, same situation. Citizen Kane, Orson Welles, wrote, produced, directed, starred in, four-man show from 1941. Should have won Best Picture, but they gave it to How Green Was My Valley back in the old days. So, and it created so many camera angles, lighting, shots. It's artful. It tells the story of a guy, Citizen Kane, based on the William Randolph Hearst. So there's it's fantastic all the way around. And number 6, going with Close Encounters of the Third Kind, Steven Spielberg's 1977 sci-fi classic. Richard Dreyfuss, not as him as Brian. I like the mashed potato scene. I like him hanging out in the corner when all these little aliens were running by, these little balls and spaceships, and the awe involved in his face, the lighting. I like Melinda Dillon and Terry Garr as well, their performances. Some wonderful actresses that have both passed away, but they're great in this movie. So Spielberg in the 70s really could do no wrong. This was early in his career, but he was going to make his mark. And in these early films, you can see it, the talent involved. All right, so let's look at after these rounds before we get to the top 5. Close Encounters has jumped up, followed by Casablanca and Citizen Kane. Like I said, the cream always rises to the top. And then you got Casino and Casino Royale, Bang Bang, Children of Men, The Conversation, Cool Hand Luke, Caddyshack, and Carrie. Wow, that's a nice top 10. So, and we haven't even gotten to the top 5 yet. So
we haven't gotten to the top 5 yet.
It's going to move around.
Yeah, the next one, we're going to do our 5 through 2, which are worth 7 points, and we'll save the big one for the end. So, Randy, what's your 5 through 2?
Well, my number 5 is another silent film, City Lights from 1931. Charlie Chaplin. Even though Buster Keaton's my favorite silent comedian, I thought this film was a little better. It's probably his best film, Chaplin's best film. His character, the little tramp falling in love with a blind flower girl, just classic.
Yep.
My number 4 is Cat People from 1942, not the Natasha Kinski one.
Right.
Jacques Tourneur directing, just great Val Lewton thriller. Does Simone character actually turn into a panther? Well, I will tell you that the swimming pool scene in this movie is worth the price of admission. And that is a scene I think film classes ought to study, is how that scene was shot. It's just amazing. Number 3, Rich has gone over this. I had to put it here. Citizen Kane from 1941, Orson Welles. Like I said, it's influenced so many other films, camera angles and everything.
Yeah.
And my number 2, from 1974, Roman Polanski's Chinatown. I've often said that this is the perfect film, the casting, the writing, the direction, on and on. I wouldn't change a thing. I just found one film I enjoy more.
Well, no shame in that. Very good. Good placement there at number 2. All right, Brian, you're up with your 5 through 2.
Number 5 for me, this has already been mentioned before, from Ang Lee, 2000, Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, story of legendary warrior Li Mu Bai, played by Chow Yun-fat in this, plans to retire and entrusting his treasured sword to a trusted friend, but its theft launches a journey filled with romance, betrayal, and breathtaking martial art battles, as Randy alluded to. Just wonderfully shot, just very poetic in its storytelling. Really wanted to include it. Number 4 for me, I knew I was going to be the only one that was going to have this. I've got The City of Lost Children. It's directed by Jean-Pierre Jeunet and Mark Caro from 1995. This is sinister a scientist who is incapable of dreaming himself, kidnaps young children in the hopes of stealing the dreams for himself. The strongman one, which is actually what they call him in the film, played by Ron Perlman, embarks on a surreal adventure through a bizarre harbor city to rescue his kidnapped little brother. So Really a really great story. Jean-Pierre Jeunet wasn't really known much for American films. I think he did do Alien Resurrection. I think he did that one, which also starred Ron Perlman as well. Number 3 for me, I've got Chariots of Fire from Hugh Hudson, 1981. The true story of all of these British runners, Harold Abrahams and Eric Liddell, as they prepare for the 1924 Olympics. One competes to overcome prejudice, while the other one is refusing to compromise based on his religious convictions. So very different reasons that they're running for. Wonderfully scored by Van Gellis, just outstanding. And Rich, I've got your back here. I've got Children of Men at number 2,
Nice.
by Alfonso Cuarón from 2006, as humanity faces extinction. Since it's nearly 2 decades since a single child has been born in the world, a cynical bureaucrat, Theo Farron, played by Clive Owen, is reluctantly drawn into protecting a young pregnant woman who appears to have the only baby being conceived in the entire world at the time. So that's my 5 through 2.
Fantastic choices all the way. I haven't seen City of Lost Children, but I have to search that.
Highly recommend it. Yeah.
Well, I know you've talked about it at least 3 times that I can remember, so I have to check it out. All right, Doc, 5 through 2.
5 through 2. I think it was a big leap on Brian's side to say he knew he was going to be the only one who would not have, the City of Lost Children on his list. You are correct. So, but it was a big leap, buddy. But there's 2 more people that have to go, so you never know. But, my number 5, as mentioned here somewhere, I think already. Randy, I think you already said it. 1974's Polanski's Chinatown with Jack. It's not my most rewatchable movie, but every time I watch it, it's fantastic, man.
I know.
It's and you get hooked. It's a hook movie again. So
yep.
And yeah, creepy underlying stories, everything else that goes with it, man. Just Chinatown's a great classic flick, actually. My number 4, I think it's been mentioned already. I've got from 1967. I got Cool Hand Luke here. That's right. Again, Newman, George Kennedy, fantastic fight scenes, everything else. But failure to communicate outside everything else. It's a fantastic flick, man, and it's real, real good flick, man. My number 3 from 1995. I've got Casino here. I've got Casino. You're right. It's Scorsese. It's Sharon Stone gives a fantastic performance in this movie, man. And James Wood is a sleazeball, and Pesci's and Don Rickles is great in his role as well. So, it's exactly what it's about: Casino and everything else that's dirty behind it. My number 2, I will be the only one who has this on his list, definitely without a doubt. I've got Carlito's Way here from De Palma. Pacino and Penn are just, it's too much for me. I can watch this anytime. It's right in my sweet spot, man. This is a fantastic flick. And Pacino thinks he's out when he comes back out. He's never going to get back into the game. He gets pulled in by his lawyer, and Sean Penn is just completely over the top as his lawyer, man. So Carlito Way is a fantastic flick, but that's my 5 through 2.
Excellent. All right, I'll run through mine, and then we'll take a look at the ranking. Number 5, I'm the only one that I believe that I'm the only one that has this. Coming Home, Hal Ashby's 1978, Vietnam War era film with John Boyd, Jane Fonda, Bruce Dern. Just a traumatic, what happens when you get injured, the mental stress of war, the effect on marriage, and the physical, mental, and emotional trauma that these people endured in the 60s, the deplorable hospital conditions of that time as well. It all hits home with me. So I'm going to put that at number 5. And I love Hal Ashby movies, as we all know. Number 4 is Failure to Communicate, Cool Hand Luke from 1967. Again, one of Paul Newman's great movies. The egg scene, the girl washing the car, the chain gang. There's so many memorable things in this all the way through. Just a rebel who's going to do things his way and pays probably the ultimate price. Number 3, I'm with Randy on Charlie Chaplin's City Lights from 1931. Ooh. It makes my list. I think it's the best silent movie I have ever seen personally. It's my favorite. The Little Tramp and the Little Flower Girl, the Blind Girl. There's some great slapstick humor in there as well with the cops and everything else. It just it either hits with you or it doesn't, and that one does for me. And number 2 is Francis Ford Coppola's The Conversation from 1974. Definitely one of my all-time favorite movies. Just got beat out by one slightly here. Gene Hackman, arguably in his top 3 performances, top 5. It's one of his great performances that he wasn't nominated for. Is Harry Call, the surveillance expert in San Francisco, who's hired to follow a couple, and intricate plot and a lot of twists and turns. You got Robert Duvall, an uncredited role. Harrison Ford is a small role. Cindy Williams, Frederick Forrest, Terry Garr, Alan Garfield. I mean, all these little characters. John Cazale, let's not forget him. All wonderful in their roles, and great script. Came right on the heels of Watergate, so there's a lot of interest in that subject matter, wiretapping and this and that. So that is going to be my number 2.
Right on.
This is going to shape out. There you go.
Cool Hand Luke jumped up. Cool Hand Luke is on all 4 lists so far, but we have one more to go, so we'll see. Followed by Citizen Kane, Casino, Children of Men, Conversation, Chinatown, City Lights, Close Encounters, Casablanca, and Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. Wow. Awesome. It's pretty friggin' strong, if you ask me. All right, so now we're going to hit our number 1s. These are worth 10 points. They can alter the game a little bit. So, Randy, what is your favorite movie beginning with the letter C?
Well, if I was going to tell some young film goer what black and white 40s film they should watch, it's going to be Casablanca. It's one of the best older films, I think, and probably the most quoted film of all time. It's been mentioned before, but yeah, I'm putting Casablanca at my number 1.
Right on.
Great choice. All right, Brian.
I'm going to take Roman Polanski's Chinatown for my number 1. I just think that everything about this movie just personifies the noir genre in every way, shape, or form, and just tour de force acting across the board, guys. I had to put it number 1. I wrote that down immediately at number 1. It didn't even come close.
Very good.
All right. Can't argue with it. What do you got, Doc, at number 1?
And Spielberg's Close Encounters, man. That's my number 1. See, straight out fantastic sci-fi, and it's my love of movies comes from this era, and this one was really a sweet spotter for me in '77. Man, I'm just a kid. Right on. Yeah. Doesn't get much better than that. I love the mashed potatoes.
You want gravy with them or not?
Definitely.
They weren't even real mashed potatoes. It was instant.
Yeah. As soon as that dirt comes flying through the smashed windows, buddy, you know it's getting serious.
Yeah, it's timeless. All right. My number 1 is also, I'm with Brian. I have Chinatown as my favorite C movie. Again, Jack Nicholson, peak of his career in the 70s, Roman Polanski directing. And I like Faye Dunaway too. And of course, John Huston as the bad guy in this is absolutely perfectly cast, even though he's known as a director. He can act too. And especially a role like this, where he's just a kind of a vile scumbag in a way, just plays by his own set of rules, has no regard for pretty much anybody, and money talks and bullshit walks, whatever you want to say. He is ruthless. That's another word I could use.
Perfect.
There it is. That's, I think on the strength of that, Chinatown leaped up because it got a couple of 10 spots there at the end. Cool Hand Luke, Close Encounters, Casablanca, and Citizen Kane. What about that top 5? Carol? Yeah. Strong. And then everything that follows.
Children of Men, Conversations, City Lights. Yeah, great, really strong top 10.
Sure it is.
Really strong. I'm wondering how many unanimous. It looks like we only had the 3, which was Chinatown, Cool Hand Luke, and Close Encounters are the only 3 films that appeared on all 4 of our lists.
So you were right.
Let's go down a bit. And you can see the rest of the top 20 with the various points Cabin in the Woods. There's your top 30, the 3-pointers.
Interesting.
And then here comes the rest of it. We're spread out pretty good.
Yeah.
Creature from the Black Lagoon. I didn't get the director on that, but I can fill that in when I pass the sheet out. All right, that was a lot of fun. Letter C.
Very good.
Here's some feedback. Give us your top. I mean, I don't expect 20, but some people do play with 20 or 10 or 5. Favorite movies beginning with the letter C. We'll be back next time with the letter D. How about them apples? And see how that goes. Another tough letter. I looked ahead.
Yeah.
It's going to be brutal. These early part of the alphabet letters are tough. So for Brian, Doc, and Randy, this is Rich. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Take care. Bye.